Today we're ranking the 5 most toxic relationship patterns, S tier to D tier. Let's start at the bottom. D tier, jealousy and control. D tier doesn't mean harmless. It means this is where most people recognize something is wrong. The constant questions. Where are you? Who are you with? Why did you take so long to reply? At first, it feels like love, like they care so much they can't stand the thought of losing you. And that feeling, being needed that intensely, is intoxicating when you first experience it. But here's what's actually happening. Their jealousy has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with how trustworthy you are or how faithful you've been. It's a window into how they see themselves. They genuinely believe they are not enough to keep you, so they try to keep you by force instead. The damage isn't dramatic, it's slow. It's the texts you stop sending because it's easier than explaining. Friends you see less because their questions afterward aren't worth it. The version of yourself that starts shrinking quietly, gradually, until one day you realize your whole world has become managing their anxiety. C tier, the silent treatment. C tier is where the patterns start getting psychological. Think about what actually happens to you when someone you love suddenly disappears emotionally. Not physically, they're still in the room, but they've gone somewhere you can't reach. No eye contact, no response, no acknowledgement that you exist. Your nervous system doesn't experience this as someone being upset with you. It experiences this as abandonment. And your brain, which has been wired since childhood to treat abandonment as a survival threat, goes into full panic mode. You apologize for things you didn't do, you minimize your own feelings to make them comfortable, you contort yourself trying to find the version of you they'll respond to again. And here's the most insidious part. They never had to say a single word. They controlled the entire dynamic through absence, through silence, through the simple act of making you feel invisible until you behaved the way they needed you to. B tier, love bombing. B tier is where the damage starts before you even realize you're in a toxic relationship. Because love bombing doesn't feel toxic. It feels like finally finding the person you've been waiting for. The constant attention, deep conversations until 3 a.m., the feeling that this person sees you in a way nobody else ever has. And then one day, it stops. The texts slow down, the attention gets rationed. The person who made you feel like their whole world suddenly makes you feel like you're competing for a slot in their schedule. So you try harder. You become more available, more understanding, more accommodating. What nobody tells you, the love bombing was never about you. It was about their need for validation, their ability to attach completely and then detach completely once they had you exactly where they needed you. A tier. Gaslighting. A tier is where the relationship stops damaging your life and starts damaging your mind. It doesn't start dramatically, it starts small. You remember a conversation a certain way, they say you're wrong. You remember something they said that hurt you, they say they never said that. You express how you feel, they tell you you're too sensitive, you're always doing this. At first you push back, you're sure of what you remember, but they're so certain, so many times, that eventually your certainty starts to crack. You start second-guessing yourself, wondering if maybe you are too sensitive, maybe you're the problem. Your sense of reality is the foundation of everything, how you make decisions, how you trust yourself. Gaslighting erodes that foundation, slowly, systematically. By the time most people leave, they don't trust their own instincts anymore. They apologize for things they didn't do. They ask others to validate their memories because they've lost the ability to trust what they actually experienced. S tier, narcissistic abuse. Here's why this is S tier. Before they hurt you, they study you. They ask questions. They remember everything you share about your past, your fears, the things that broke you before. Most people think that's love. It's not. They're building a file on you. Then they use everything in that file to become the exact person you've always needed. That's why it feels so different, so real, because it was designed specifically for you. And then when they have you, when you're attached, when you trust them, when leaving feels unthinkable, the person you fell in love with starts to disappear. And the same things you told them in confidence, your insecurities, your fears, the things that make you feel small, Those become the tools they use against you. They know exactly what to say to make you doubt yourself. They know exactly which button to press to make you panic. They know exactly how little to give you so you keep chasing. And you do chase, because somewhere in there is still the person you fell in love with. But that person was never real. It was a character they played, built from everything you told them you needed. Here's the part nobody prepares you for. When it ends, you don't just grieve the relationship, you grieve a person who never existed. You miss someone who was hurting you. You feel crazy for missing them while also knowing they destroyed you. And you walk away not just hurt, but genuinely unsure of yourself, unsure of your memory, unsure of your judgment, asking yourself how you didn't see it, wondering if you'll ever trust someone the same way again. Follow Psychovex. Just drop the letter. I read every single one.